What's up, guys? How are we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today we're back with another Why We Carry Wednesday episode. If you don't know what these are, they're basically why we carry guns, and it's a couple stories of things that happen of, self-defense gun uses, things that don't really make the news that much, and because the news media has a narrative and they don't want to talk about stuff like this, and it's actually where it's a good guy using a gun to save someone's life, save their life, home invasions, and stuff like that, where gun use is actually used for something good. So I got a couple stories about that, so we'll be right back. All right, so the first one is from Murray, Utah, and a jewelry store robbery attempt in Murray ends with manager firing back. So, an Oregon man is facing multiple first-degree felony charges after an attempted jewelry store robbery in Murray ended with him being shot by an armed employee. Investigators say the suspect and an identified accomplice tried to restrain workers before the assistant manager used his concealed firearm to defend himself and others. See, and this is coming from Concealed Nation. This is where I get most of these from. They're Concealed Nation. You can go if you're interested. You can go on, and there's a whole bunch of stories on of this. They do a really good job, and I want to give them their props. But anyway, Murray, Utah. And that's the thing with Utah. They're one of the best states when it comes to firearm rights, gun rights, not gun control. They're one of the better states. So you don't hear about a lot of this. It happens. I mean, it happens everywhere you go. It started to happen more and more everywhere you go, and it's like it's crazy, but world's getting crazy. But Murray police have filed criminal charges against a 22-year-old Oregon resident who investigators say took part in a robbery attempt that quickly escalated into violence inside the local jewelry store. Prosecutors charged Baker Villegas, I'm bad with names, of Richmond with 2 counts of aggravated robbery and 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, all first-degree felonies. So you're only 22 years old. I mean, you're still young, and now you're pretty much your life's done for. I mean, and Utah doesn't take as kindly about crimes like this as some states do. I mean, they're not like, they're still. But anyway. The incident occurred on November 25th at Sierra West Jewelers on South State Street. According to charging documents, 2 men entered the store wearing wigs, fake facial hair, and matching plaid pants. As the assistant manager greeted them, Villegas, the suspect, reportedly pulled out a firearm and forced him towards the center of the store. The employees later told officers they struggled to understand the suspect because they shouted commands in Spanish. Can I guess? I could be wrong, but can I guess? Probably an illegal. I could be wrong. Investigators say the suspects then attempted to restrain a female employee with duct tape. At that moment, the assistant manager drew his concealed firearm and fired a round into the floor in an effort to stop the assault. Never, ever, ever shoot warning shots, people. I've said that, and I'll keep saying it. Don't shoot warning shots. Don't shoot a round into the floor. No warning shots. Okay, where'd he go? The assistant manager fired a second round towards Villegas, causing both suspects to bolt towards the exit. As they fled, the concealed carrier struck Villegas several times in the head with his firearm. Struck him. That's what I would think. Smacked him. Struck him several times in the head with his firearm. The suspect reached their vehicle and reversed quickly, dragging the assistant manager a short distance before speeding away. A short time later, an unidentified person dropped off Villegas at an urgent care clinic in Sandy with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. Staff alerted police, who then transferred him to Intermountain Medical Center in Murray for additional treatment. After being released from the hospital, he was booked into the county jail. Authorities say they are still looking to identify the second man involved. Prosecutors note that Villegas is a Venezuelan citizen with a federal detainer, and they are asking that he remain jailed without possibility of bail due to concerns he could be transferred or deported before trial. Self-defense insight. I don't know if this goes anywhere along with it, but we'll see. Yep. While the assistant manager acted bravely under extreme pressure, situations like this also serve as important reminders about best practices in self-defense. Chasing fleeing suspect increases the risk of serious injury, as seen when the manager was dragged by the vehicle, and it can also complicate legal considerations after the fact. Likewise, firing warning shots is strongly discouraged because rounds that are not aimed at a confirmed threat can endanger bystanders and may escalate the encounter rather than end it. In many cases, maintaining a defensible position, calling the police, and avoiding physical pursuit provides a safer outcome for both the defender and the public. Don't shoot warning shots. You're responsible for every bullet. If that bullet ricochets up and hits somebody else, yeah, you just did something that you probably shouldn't have. Warning shot. Don't shoot warning shots, people. And if they're fleeing, let them go. They're fleeing. You can't shoot somebody in the back. If they're fleeing, you kind of have to let them go. So I don't know if the assistant manager is getting charged with anything on this because, like I said, they were fleeing. They were trying to get away. They were in his car. They dragged him with his car. So at what point do you say, all right, they're gone. Good. Just get them out of here. Just, you don't need to pursue them once they've started to flee. They're no longer a threat. Safety tip. Train regularly in firearm retention skills. Many defense shootings happen at arm's length, and knowing how to control your firearm during a struggle is just as important as marksmanship. Yes. Yes, it is. It's just as important to be able to control around here with your gun than it is to actually have good marksmanship, because usually they're close enough that you don't really need to hold aim, get sight picture. Usually they're close enough that you can just get it. You can usually just point and shoot at that point. So it's one of those things where you've got to be careful what you're doing in self-defense. Yeah, did he do the right thing? Absolutely. Did he make some mistakes in there? Absolutely. He made some mistakes. You can't, first of all, warning shots. Don't shoot a warning shot ever. Never, 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 never. Says me. I mean, even this article said warning shots are strongly discouraged. Because if that bullet would have happened to hit somebody else, just by chance, ricochet off the floor, and then you're being charged with something, and chasing them once they flee. Yeah, he just risked himself even more by getting dragged by a car, or he could have got run over by a car. If they had a gun, which it kind of sounded like they did, he could have got himself shot. Or once they start fleeing, I know you think it's right to hunt him down and chase him down and get him back, but it's just putting yourself in danger. Don't do that. Let's see. Next article, do one more here. A Denver dad takes action as intruder moves towards children's bedroom. That doesn't sound very good. That sounds like I would take some pretty good action on that one too. But a Denver family woke to terrifying sound of a stranger climbing their stairs before the father confronted him, forcing him back down. Police arrested the suspect shortly after, and the family is grateful the situation ended without serious injury. So, Denver, Colorado. A quiet school night turned into a frightening ordeal for a North Denver family when they woke up to the sound of a stranger moving inside their home early on November 7th, around 3:30 in the morning. Kevin and Sarah Root were sleeping upstairs with unfamiliar footsteps began making their way toward the second floor. At first, the couple assumed one of their 4 children was up, but heavy steps quickly told them something was wrong. Kevin said he immediately sensed the difference, explaining that every parent knows the sound of their children walking around. Sarah saw a dark figure pass their partially open bedroom door and felt a stinky fear. The man had reportedly forced his way in by breaking the front door lock. As he approached the staircase, Kevin yelled out in an attempt to alert the intruder that the family was awake and aware, yet the man remained completely silent. The stranger continued walking towards the children's room. Panic set in. Sarah called 911 while Kevin decided he could not wait any longer. He stepped out of the bedroom and physically shoved the man down the staircase. The intruder tumbled to the bottom, knocking framed pictures from the wall along the way. Kevin recorded video moments later as police arrived and found the suspect lying on the floor. The man, identified as a 36-year-old Charlie Cooley, eventually cooperated with officers and was taken into custody. Aside from a fall, decoration removed from the porch, nothing meaningful was taken from the home. Kevin joked that although their freezer was left open, the intruder ignored the chicken nuggets and waffles. At least he didn't take my nuggets and waffles. That's good. The Roots say they are grateful the encounter ended without anyone being hurt. Their experience is a reminder to families that home security measures like reinforced door frames, motion alert cameras, and alarm systems can provide an important layer of protection. Homeowners who choose to own firearms for self-defense should ensure it is secured yet accessible, and that all adults in the home understand how to safely use it. Safety tip: consider adding door reinforcements, hardware, and a monitored alarm system to your home. Layers of security reduce the chances of an intruder making it inside and give families more time to react safely. So this one, luckily, it didn't have a gun involved in it. So, I mean, this was not necessarily one that, but it's still a reason why we have guns in the home. This one particular ended without incident, but think if that intruder had a gun. He may have, but what if he did? And what was his intentions? But luckily a gun wasn't, luckily, yes, nobody was hurt. Nobody was seriously hurt other than a fall down the stairs. If it was somebody going after my kids, I don't know how I would react, but it is what it is. But I just couldn't let it happen. But that's why we have guns, and that's why But because this could have ended very, very differently if that intruder would have had a gun or would have, you know, would have not cooperated a little better or whatever. This could have ended a lot worse. I mean, it could have. It seems as though there wasn't a gun involved. It could have ended a lot worse. But anyway, that's the video for today. Just a couple stories. Like I said, just a couple stories of why we carry, because things are getting pretty bad out there. I mean, this happens all the time, and things happen, and it's only going to get worse. You know, the economy's so bad that people feel that like they got to steal. They got to scam people. They got to steal people. They got to break in. And this may have not been a robbery. I don't know what this was. He was going towards children's bedrooms, so maybe he was going to kidnap one of them or something. I don't know. It didn't really say, and we're probably not going to hear any more about it other than this. But other than that, pretty much, yeah. But anyway. That's the show. Carry a gun. The world's getting crazy. Carry one everywhere. I know some people, even me, sometimes I forget. I walk out the door and I'll crap my gun. Oh well, I'll just, whatever. I'll be fine. And, times like that are when you're not fine and you end up being in a situation where you probably could have, should have had it. So, I mean, most likely not, because but carry one anyway, because you can't be too safe. Just have one. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's the way I look at things. And anyway, like I said, have situational awareness. Keep an eye around. Keep an ear and an eye at least on your surroundings. Know your ways out. Read people. The world is getting crazy, and it's only going to get worse. Things are getting bad, and always carry some kind of a tool. If you legally, for whatever reason, everybody should be able to, but if you legally can't carry a gun for whatever reason, carry something, whatever the best tool is that you have, carry it. Sorry, alarm's going off. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Love you. Links below if you want to support, if you want to subscribe, comment, you know the drill. Links are below to other channels and all that good stuff. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Love you. See you in the next one.